It's 1983, and I need a tragedy. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, you're gonna help me plot a novel. Okay, you're not really gonna help me, you're just gonna listen. Um, I have a lot to figure out with my crime thriller novel that I want to work on next year, but I plan to write an outline by the end of this year. But before I can do that, I kind of need to figure out what's going on, right? So, the year begins 1985, not 1983. That is when the tragedy happens. Now, what is that tragedy? And why does it matter? It matters because this is what the main character for part one of the book, that's what she is running from. It has to be something, a huge tragedy. Well, let me start from the beginning. There's a family, okay? Two parents, mother, father, and twin sisters. Something happens to where people die. The parents for sure died. One of the twin sisters is the one who created the situation in which the parents died. And the other sister may or may not be alive. She is presumed dead, but who really knows, right? The story is not about that sister. The story is about the other one. I don't know what I want to happen, okay? Of course, the first thing that came to mind was a house fire. These people live on a farm, so it would be quite easy to run away from that. And I don't know. How long does it take ambulance and the fire department and the police department to reach a home in a rural area? Let's find that out. That's perfect. That is definitely enough time for someone to get away. So, do I want to go with the house fire? What are my other options? Does a gas leak turn into a fire? What about like carbon monoxide poisoning? But then wouldn't it be easier to know the twin that did or did not survive? Wouldn't it be able to know that? I don't know. Let's just go with house fire, okay? We're gonna go with the house fire. We're gonna skip to part 3 of the novel now. There's two characters, and they are looking for someone from both of their pasts. And let me say this story is about confronting your past and your fears, running away from them, but having to confront them anyways. And I was just thinking, okay, that makes sense for the character in part 1. But what about the other ones? What are they running from? What are they confronting? And for the male character, I know what he's confronting from his past. The disappearance of his mother, and then finding out that she died. The other character, she's confronting the fact that her mother, who she found out is missing, a little part of her hopes. I kind of hope that she's dead, because how can she accept the idea that her own mother would just leave her? And for years, she kind of pushes that away. She doesn't really think about it. But this new investigation into a mysterious woman is now making her think, making her confront all of those things with this other character. We'll call them, I don't want to say what their actual names is, but let's say Sue and John. Sue and John come from very different backgrounds. John is a divorcee dad in his 20s, and Sue is also in her 20s, a college student. And they actually meet either on a college campus because they're both in school, or at a trunk or treat at a church. I don't know which option I like, but now that I think about it, what if they sort of met at the college? Didn't really know, but then they formally met at the trunk or treat. Like maybe the divorcee dad, John, went up to her because he was like, wait a minute, she looks familiar. I think she goes to my school. Ooh, I need to write these things down because I'm just yapping. Hold on, give me a moment. Okay, awesome, great. Now, what is the next thing that I need to figure out? Oh, a big one. What is the purpose of the story? Other than the fact that I want it to be about confronting your past, but what is the point of this story? You know, there's this investigation of this missing woman. They don't know whether she's dead or alive. And you have Sue and John trying to figure out the truth. And there's a reason why, because that woman is connected to them. But what is the story, you know? What is it really? Does there need to be something more? Is it just this investigation trying to figure out where this woman is? If she's dead, who killed her and where is she buried? If she's alive, where has she been and why has she said nothing? I feel like there should be more, but I cannot think of more. Maybe I just have to write what I have now and let the more come to me then, just like it has for other stories. For my story LKZ, the fantasy novel about the kids who find an ancient kingdom, it started out one way on draft 1. And by the time it got to draft 4, it was not the same story. And I'm completely okay with that. But something is missing here. But maybe I'm just too judgmental of my own ideas. It seems too simple. That's what it is. I've made a simple story. Now you may ask, Abigail, what's wrong with having a simple story? There's nothing wrong with that. I just usually have a lot of complex things happening. Maybe they're not even complex, but I usually just have a lot of stuff going on. And this story seems extremely straightforward, which, to be honest, stories should be straightforward. Maybe it's a sign of growth. Maybe I'm just growing as a writer and I don't feel the need to have a whole bunch going on. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I also want to develop the two characters, Sue and John's relationship with each other. Like I said, they come from two different worlds. Sue, she's, I don't know, focused on her dreams, her aspirations, and her relationship with God. She's a Christian. And she's navigating this new life in college. She's 25, 26. I don't exactly remember. Oh, I think she started college late. Yes, she started college late because she went to the Peace Corps after high school. She really wanted to volunteer and like give her time in that way. And then after that, she was like, well, I kind of want to work a little bit before I go to college. So she did that. So she's currently a freshman in college, but I think I made her 24. I think she's 24. And she's around all these young people who want to do all these crazy things. And they're like, come on, Sue, come with us. And she's never been the type of person to be invited to things, nor was she even someone who would say yes, or her parents would even say yes, or her father. So it's just a new environment for her, and she's trying to navigate that. With John, like I said, he's a divorcee dad, young, he's 26, so he's navigating this new singlehood he has as a father. He's going to school for his master's to further his career. He has a son that he's now taking care of but doesn't see every day like he used to. And he has to move in with his father. and it feels like high school again. But his father's acting a little weird, very guarded around his things, saying odd things. But he just tries to ignore all of that, you know? Old man, you know, they start saying crazy stuff when they get older. That's just our process, right? So now I'm just trying to figure out, what am I trying to get out of this story? What are the characters trying to get out of this investigation? Then I thought to myself, what if John is the one encouraging Sue to move forward with this investigation? Maybe she doesn't want to do it at all. That actually makes sense, because she doesn't want to confront the past, right? Because this missing woman is connected to them both. And Sue was like, no, I've built a whole life. I built, routines and all of this. She's very comfortable where she is. She doesn't want to rustle that. And he's like, no, we need to figure this out. And he's saying that because he was forced to confront what happened to his mother. And so he has a different point of view at that point, and really encouraging her to seek out the truth. So the first part of the story starts off very optimistic, very optimistic, and then it quickly goes wrong. Part 2 is about an investigation, and I figured out how I want that to go. So that part is not really an issue, more the details of certain things and like double checking how detectives do things. But the 3rd/4th part is where I need a lot of thinking. Now that I figure out how Sue and John meet, and then what ensues after that, and So Sue is trying to bury herself into her coursework, her friends, her religion, and trying to get away from this investigation. And John is like, no, we need to do this together. I'm here for you. Take my hand. And finally, she trusts him. She talks to her father. They just follow all these clues. And I think that's the hitch now when it comes to the plot, is how they find out the truth of what happened to this missing woman. Does she leave breadcrumbs? If she does, what exactly was she hoping to do that? Is she dead? What happened to her? Who did it? And I'm still trying to figure out those things, because it's really like maybe Sue doesn't want to know who the missing woman is, because maybe the missing woman did something horrible, and maybe Sue wouldn't want to know who she is. And yeah, what do you think? I'm kind of just wondering now, if Sue finds the truth, what does that do for her? And should I say more, or how should they find out more of this missing woman? Ooh. Oh, thoughts are coming to my head now. Thoughts are coming to my head now. Okay, I just figured something out. I just added this extra part that, to be honest, fills in the story a lot, and actually, I'm really excited about it now. These two characters, they end up going to the town that the missing woman grew up in to ask questions and figure things out. And people are giving them some hints. And I think I'm gonna stop here, because I've actually made a lot of great progress on filling in some things that I had questions on. This was great. So there will be a part 2 to this, where I figure out the ending and all the stuff going towards the ending. I hope this was enjoyable to listen to, maybe to even inspire you. I did this with LKZ, but earlier today, I watched, I'll put her name up here. I was watching her video of her world building, and then also plotting out one of her projects. And I was like, honestly, I need to do that, 1, to figure out the story, and 2, just to share with you all my process and just talking it out. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in another video. Bye.